Thank you so much for tuning in to the Midday Show on KEXP. I'm Cheryl Waters, and it is an understatement to say I am so delighted to be here in the studios with the new Pornographers. Welcome back.
Thank you for having us.
It is always a special day when you're here, and even more special when you have new music. In the Morse Code of Brake Lights came out in September,
Right.
and I believe you're going to entertain us with some new songs.
Yes, here we are now.
The new Pornographers, live on KEXP.
Just like a star maker, that is not like a star, and it look good on paper, that is the cruelest part. The look of life is much cheaper, the dead have expensive taste. The look of lights found their way here. It's you they want to replace. Yeah, there's room at the top, pretty cheap all of you. But the vertical drop made the skyline askew. Made me trip on a step, and I flew for a while, falling down the stairs of your smile, falling down the stairs of your smile. You look just like a star maker, that is not like a star, and it look good on paper. Good design takes you far. Too many dress-ups, not enough child's play. Too many star-clubs, not enough time to say. Too many soapboxes, not enough violence. Too many shipwrecks, not enough sirens. Yeah, there's room at the top, pretty cheap all of you. But the vertical drop made the skyline askew. Made me trip on a step, wasn't careful enough. Falling down the stairs of your love, falling down the stairs of your love. And now you got what you want before. And now you got what you want before. Yeah, there's room at the top, pretty cheap all of you. But the vertical drop made the skyline askew. Made me trip on the step, and flew for a while, falling down the stairs of your smile, falling down the stairs of your smile, falling down the stairs of your love, falling down the stairs of your love. And now you got what you want before. 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 Drive off the map into the realm of the stars. Didn't need a war, but now this one is ours. So smile along until the coast is clear. Like anything that you learn to feel, let it play in the background, tune out the sound. Didn't need a war, but we got one now. Ride the chords as they repeat for years. We may be castaways. Didn't need a war, but it's here, I'd say. So smile big until it's thrown us clear. We may be beyond to something here. The logic's from before. Now we're inside the C4. And then that surprise knock on your door. Surprise knock on your door. Surprise knock on your door. Drive up the map, but take the long way around. Didn't know the score, but we knew we were down. It won't be long until we grind the gears. But carry on, we're on to something here. Logic's from before. Now we're inside the C4. Then the surprise knock on your door. Surprise knock on your door. Surprise knock on your door. Drive up the map to the horizon, please. Didn't need a war, but we got one to see. We had it wrong when it was all so clear. We may be beyond to something here. Drifting like proper castaways. Didn't need a war, but it's here, I'd say. So smile big until it's thrown us clear. We may be beyond to something here. And then the surprise knock on your door. Surprise knock on your door. Surprise knock on your door. Surprise knock on your door.
It's the New Pornographers live on KEXP. They're playing the Neptune Theater here in Seattle tonight, a sold-out show, and songs from the new album, In the Morse Code of Brake Lights. You just heard Falling Down the Stairs of Your Smile and The Surprise Knock. And it's so exciting to have you here playing live music. You're such a beloved band among KEXP listeners, and I feel like we've been on a long journey together, us as fans, and you making all this great music for us.
We have, haven't we?
You have. It's 20 years.
A long,
Mark.
strange trip.
My memory in talking with you, Carl, is that you didn't necessarily have this grand plan for this band when you put it together. It almost seems like it was sort of a lark, pulling together some talented friends, and 20 years later, you've got this amazing group of talented friends.
It is true. There was a point about, God, how long? It was like 15 years ago. We were doing our deal with Matador, and we were talking about the length of the license, and it was a 12-year license. And it was like, okay, like the ownership of our first 3 albums was going to revert back to us, like in 12 years. And I just thought, it just seemed insanely futuristic. Like 12 years? You really think we're still going to be around in 12 years? And, and that was 3 years ago.
That's
nuts. we got rights to our albums back 3 years ago. So, yeah, it's crazy to still be here. I mean, I don't know. I like to think I've kind of given up and realized I'm just going to be like the weird old guy making music. But I live in Woodstock, which is full of weird old guys who make music. So I think it's just a great place for me to be.
Well, it's great for us. And you've got these great people surrounding you. Obviously, they agree with what you're doing. And many of you have side projects, so much talent in this group of musicians. And what does bring you back to the New Pornographers? This is your 8th album. You could go off and do different things, but there's something that draws you to this project.
Well, it could go off and do different things, but I wouldn't make any money doing that. I mean,
but
this is my job, man.
Okay, so 9 to 5.
I like doing it. I mean, I guess it's that thing where, like, if you find the thing you love, you'll never work again.
Is there an ease among the band after all this time?
I think there is now.
Tell me about this new record. I mean, you do go different places from album to album, and in reading about this new record, and especially on that last song that you did, I heard that you're like, it's been enough time. We can kind of go back to our earlier sound a little bit and mix it up. But there's so much diversity here. You've got some songs that are very string heavy, and then the last song again kind of reminds me of early songs from the New Pornographers, and then you even have a solo song with yourself on piano. So you're really mixing it up here. Tell me what this record, how you approached it, and
I don't know. I think there was an element of hey, let's not be afraid to just do that thing that we're good at. The strings, for me, I've always wanted to use more strings just because I love ELO. And I love the ridiculous way they use it. So I thought the strings on this record should not be subtle. They should be pretty in your face. And I've seen reviews where people complained about how weird the strings were, and I thought, thumbs up. That's not a bug, that's a feature. They're meant to do that.
you achieved what you were going for there.
Yeah.
And how about the song where you're very spare and by yourself?
For me, it's just a different. It's nothing new, but it's new for me, and I think there's something scary about just sitting down and it's just you and the song, and there's nobody else around you. It feels like a leap of faith. It's funny because the song even has a line about a leap of faith. You just have to trust that, the song is enough.
You have an unabashed love for a beautiful pop song, and what about that format speaks to you so passionately?
I think I've just always loved it. I just remember being a kid and I heard a great song, and it just moved me in a weird way. I have this recollection of the first time I ever thought this song is great, and it was I must have been like 2 or 3, and it was I Think I Love You by the Partridge Family, and I still listen to that song. And I think this song rules, and I think you just carry things like that with you. Like my son, he's turning 8, and he loves hip hop. So that's what I feel like when he's my age, he's probably gonna feel the same way about Kendrick Lamar or the Black Panther soundtrack. But some people leave that stuff behind. I guess I've just got a case of arrested development, I guess.
I love that you said, I think I love you, because I'm such a huge fan to this day of Zumpano, and that music reminds me so much of the Partridge Family. So definitely can feel that influence.
Yeah, I remember in Spin Mag, we never got any major press, but I remember Spin Magazine was covering a showcase we played here, a Sub Pop showcase, and the writer was dissing us by saying we sounded like the Partridge Family, and our response was, but we're sort of trying to sound like the Partridge Family.
That's great. Well, you do have this sunny, upbeat sound, and on this new record, you definitely have some heavy things on your mind. And can you talk a little bit about that? There's, of course, a lot going on in the different songs, but
I think my problem is I'm living here in America, and I feel empathy towards other human beings, and so that makes me unhappy a lot of the time.
it's a quandary, isn't it?
Yes. It's the price of having just your average standard issue empathy in 2020. So, but I never mean to write about, the world or politics, but it's unavoidable. And the song we're about to do, I read the lyrics now and I think, wow, this is pretty, it's pretty straight ahead what I'm saying here, talking about how much I hate living in the culture of fear but have nowhere to go, which I think is how a lot of people feel these days.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting times, and I know so many artists are expressing how they're feeling through their music, which definitely speaks, to your fans and your listeners.
But I'm always aware of I'm trying not to be too heavy-handed, because I know the music I write is inherently light, and I don't want to come off as flippant. And I don't really want to write punk music that much. So I feel like you got to be careful how you write about it.
Well, the way you talk about it doesn't sound like it's super forced and super planned. So if you're coming from a place, of your instincts and your intuition.
Yeah, like I think I'm always just writing a ton. Like I'll write like 15 verses for a song, and I'll just go through it and I'll go no, and I'll think that's good. I like that, but I don't even think too much. Like, why do I like it? And then I look back and I realize, well, I like that because it feels relevant. Like that feels like it. That's how I feel right now. So that's gonna go in the song.
How does that approach differ from producing the album? Because I know you produced this record on your own for the first time.
Not really.
Didn't produce it on your own?
I did a lot of it. Producer is it's such a nebulous thing,
Well, what does it mean to you? What were you doing? Not in a dark room by yourself, pushing buttons?
It was I think I am the producer on this record because there was no one else who you could call the producer. So I guess it's me.
Born of circumstance.
You got to call somebody the producer, right?
I'm actually not sure how that works. Can
But-
you have a producer of this album?
But it's like Catherine recorded a lot of her own keyboard sounds, and and they sounded very cool, and I didn't really have anything to do with that. So in a sense, she was the producer there as well. Like I said, it's a nebulous term. Am I using that word correctly?
Yes.
Is that a word?
I think
Nebulous? Like a nebula.
I see a theme for the new record, the
Yes.
next one coming. The new record from the new Pornographers, In the Morse Code of Brake Lights. They play tonight at the Neptune Theater here in Seattle. And got a few more songs for us.
Yes, we do. This one's called Higher Beams.
Just out of frame with a passenger's name. You were afraid, pulled behind. It was always a battle to arrive at the station alive, with all the bags to unpack, all the plans for the future to protect, because we come to expect the trains on time. A cloud of steam, and we're out of the gate. Not a fashionable late, wearing long sleeves to hide the mark of Cain. Got it when I was young, half eternal, half sung. Play a sour no long enough, it's right. And our finishing moves will fight or flight. The higher beam, the temporarily blind, to change your mind.
Thank you for nothing. Didn't want it.
Deep in the culture of fear, we all hate living here. But you know when you can't afford to leave, so you stay in the line, navigate the landmine. Should have gone from the guidance to got lost. I could see when we crossed, I knew the cost. The higher beam, temporarily blind, to change your mind.
Thank you for nothing. Didn't want it.
in the room when you dream of a team of higher beam that temporarily blind to change your mind. The higher beam that temporarily blind to change your mind. That change your mind. That change your mind. That change your mind. That change your mind.
It's the new Pornographers live on KEXP, playing songs from the new album in the Morse code of brake lights.
Pardon me while I go electric. No, we're doing, you won't.
Oh, you want?
Isn't that?
Oh, okay, great. Let's do it.
Okay. You got it, Catherine?
Yeah.
It's called You Won't Need Those where you're going. 1, 2, 3, 4.
My love, she jumped from the top of the game. A lover's leap, never went there again. Said you're free, look back, but I'll keep going. You know we built this thing on the not known. It's found footage, still unedited. It's awkward, rough, and repetitive, but it could win awards when and if it's shown. But you won't need those where you're going. My love, she climbed onto the roof of the car, said it will be my stage if it's not gonna start. Tossed the keys as the thing started rolling. Said you won't need those where you're going. Took some raw footage from an unfinished man, made a narrative leap through some sleight of hand. There will be buzz and heat when and if it's shown. But you won't need those where you're going. We won't need those where we're going. You won't need those where you're going.
Beautiful. The new Pornographers live on KEXP.
All right, we got one more.
All right, we good?
Yes, we just learned this one, so this is exciting.
It's a clap along.
Yes.
1, 2, 3, 4.
It's been too long at the Western Front, wasted away, been over there. But you can talk yourself into anything. And I can see the Cold War in the whites of your eyes. We like our boat straight from the blue, but we will need something stronger too. Then the moral arc of the universe. You need to show up for your path, but you hit the glass. us will rise, some of us will lose. The way that we define what it is we do, yeah. Some in the mirage, some of us will go far. Some of us collapse, singing to a new star. Some strings, but you lose the thread. Live like a king, but the king is dead. You were pulling up the yard all nighter then. Now you gotta prove that baby was one of us, 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 none of us could have us. Spit it up, and your heart's a moment to make known. Call it out from the miners that's going in to the show. With all the crime in the family, yeah. With all the crime in the family, yeah. Only want the bold strokes of the plot. Either write your name in the book of life or kill the lights. Strip down your dream like in on the rush. Strip down your dream like in on the rush. Some of us will ride, some of us will lose. With the way that we define what it is we do here. We'll summon the mirage, some of us will go far. Some of us collapse into a new star. Summon the mirage, some of us will go far. Some of us collapse into a new star.
The new Pornographers live on KEXP. That was amazing. Thank you all
Thanks.
so much.
It's been fun. Thank you.
Thank you.
See you in a little bit, I guess.
That's right. Playing the Neptune Theater tonight here in Seattle, and tomorrow you're in Portland.
Yes.
Good times. Thank you again so much, all of you.
Thank you.
You've got it tuned to KEXP Seattle.
Discover new music at listener-powered KEXP.org.